Hello students, welcome to Shakti's English Club and let's learn the poem Amanda by Robin McMauchlan.
About the poetess, Robin McMauchlan is an Australian author of books for children. She writes children and young adult fiction. Robin Klein has expressed the views of a little girl, Amanda, who is constantly pointed out by her mother for making mistakes. Mistakes are nothing but the codes of good conduct, but the little girl feels that it is all laid out by the society. Here the poetess points out that children should never be deprived for their freedom. Though the parents have the responsibility to upbring the child, they should ensure not to irritate them with their constant instruction. Let's look at the poem. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Here, the mother scolds her for biting her nails, as it is a bad habit. Don't hunch your shoulders. Hunch means bend. So, this mother is asking her not to bend the shoulders. Stop that slouching. Slouch means sit lazily. So, this girl is sitting very casually in a lazy manner. So, the mother is scolding her not to sit in a lazy manner and ordering her to sit up straight. As the mother is scolding her for her bad habits, Amanda's mind has gone into an imaginary world where she is very happy and free from instructions. Let's look at these lines. These lines are given in parenthesis, that is bracket, because it is the imagination by the little girl Amanda when the mother is scolding. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. So here languid means relaxed, emerald means green colored sea. So here this little girl is telling like she wants to be a mermaid, the only resident. The sole inhabitant means the sole resident is me. Me referred to that little girl Amanda. She wants to be the only resident. She wants to be the only resident of that emerald sea where she can move slowly, happily in a relaxed manner. There is a languid emerald sea, very relaxed green colored sea where the sole inhabitant, the only resident is that little girl, and a mermaid. She wants to be a mermaid where she can move. Drift means move slowly, where she can swim in a very relaxed manner. Let's look at the next stanzas. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Here, the mother is now enquiring her whether she has completed her homework. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room? Tidy means clean. So now mother is asking whether did you clean your room or not. I thought I told you to clean your shoes. So the mother reminds her whether she has cleaned her shoes or not. So when the mother is again instructing her and inquiring her about her activities, now this little girl is again moving into an imaginary world where she thinks herself as an orphan. So now let's look at the lines within the parenthesis. I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So now this little girl imagines herself as an orphan and roaming in the streets, who can roam in the streets very freely without any instructions or scoldings. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. I pattern in the sense she wants to draw some patterns or designs with the uncovered legs, and she can draw some designs in the mud, in the sand. So she wanted to draw some patterns or designs with the feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. This little girl is actually, she feels that silence is golden as it is so precious, and also she feels that freedom is sweet. Now, this little girl is thinking exactly opposite to her mother. This mother inquires whether she has cleaned up her room, cleaned up her shoes, like that. But this little girl wanted to roam in the street freely in the bare feet. And now she feels that silence is golden. Golden as it is so precious, she feels that silence is golden. As she is constantly being instructed by her mother, she feels very much present and irritated with her mother. So that is why she feels that freedom is so sweet. I hope it's clear. Let's move to the next answers. Don't eat the chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? Now, this mother is scolding her not to eat chocolates. Remember your acne, Amanda. So the mother is asking to think of her pimples before eating the chocolate. And now the mother is asking her to look at her when she is speaking to her. When the mother is scolding her for not for having chocolates and also for not paying attention to her, this little girl is imagining herself to be a fairy tale character Rapunzel. Now let's look into the lines within the parenthesis. I am Rapunzel, I have not a care. Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. So now here the fairy tale character Rapunzel. This character Rapunzel was captured in a tower by a witch. The witch used to climb the tower with the help of the long hair of Rapunzel, which she has to let down from the window. And just holding that, that witch will climb into the tower. So now here in this poem, this little girl is telling like, I want to be a Rapunzel. I don't care about anything. The life in the tower is tranquil and rare. She's telling like the life in the tower will be very calm, peaceful, rare. Rare means uncommon. It will not be common. It will not be usual. It will be unusual. So the life in the tower will be extraordinarily peaceful. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. So this little girl is telling like she wants to be like a Rapunzel in the tower. She wants to live very peacefully, but she assures that she won't let her hair down so that no one can climb up to disturb her. So she's telling she wants to be a Rapunzel and she wants to live in the tower very happily without any disturbances, and she will never let down her bright hair so that no one can climb up to the tower to disturb her. I hope it's clear. Let's move to the next stanza. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So now we know that little girl is very much oppressed and being in a bad mood because of the mother's scoldings. Now this mother is telling, stop that sulking. So now this mother is telling, stop being in a bad mood. You're always so moody. So now she is unstable in her mood. So this mother is telling like, you should not be unstable. You should not be in a bad mood. Anyone would think that I nagged at you. So the mother is telling like that if anyone looks at her, they might think that her mother is nagging or harassing her for the bad activities. So now this little girl is feeling very bad and feeling very much oppressed, and she is feeling a constant pressure of trying to be a well behaved girl as per the parents' demand. So when this little girl Amanda is upset, the mother takes this against her sense of pride and so scolds her again that she should not behave like this, and the others would think that Amanda's mother is very much dominating towards her child. So that is the reason, like, mother is again asking her to stop being in a bad mood. I hope it's clear. Let's move to the poetic devices. Now let's look into the literary devices of the poem Amanda. The rhyme scheme of the poem. The word Amanda is rhyming with again Amanda, and in the last sentence Amanda. So this is A. Straight does not rhyme with anyone. This is B. C. The word C is rhyming with me and blissfully. So this is C. So rhyme scheme is A, B, A, C, C, C. This is the same for the all the stanzas. A, B, A, C, C, C. Next comes anaphora. Anaphora is nothing but the repetition of the word or a phrase at the beginning of the two or more consecutive lines. Here the word don't is repeated at the beginning of the sentence. So this is anaphora. Next comes metaphor. Metaphor is just a comparison. Here the sea, the green colored sea is compared with the emerald. Next, silence is golden. So here the quality silence is so precious in this poem. So it is compared with golden. Freedom is compared with the taste sweet. So these words are metaphor. Next comes repetition. Repetition is nothing but the repeated word in the poem. So the little girl's name Amanda is repeated throughout the poem. Imagery. Imagery is nothing but the poet makes us imagine how this mermaid is drifting blissfully. Drifting means moving in a very blissful manner. So it makes us imagine. That is imagery. Next comes alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the consonant sounds at the beginning of the adjacent words. So here yes sound is repeated. Stop that slouching and sit up straight. So the s sound, the consonant sound is being repeated at the beginning of the adjacent words. So this is alliteration. I hope this is clear. Theme and the short summary of the poem. This poem ventilates the little girl's frustration, who is always pointed for her mistakes. The mother tries to inculcate good habits and conduct, but the girl feels only the dominance of the parent and imagines herself to be fictional characters to enjoy her own company. Now the poem is easy and clear for you. And if you have any queries, write in the comment section and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you all students.